Toastmasters and guests. My name is Mario Lopez, as you already know, and I've already introduced myself earlier. So I'm going to go on to my speech, which is The Reaper. I'm going to be speaking on results today. It's actually a 6-series speech that I'm giving. Now, results means to come about as a consequence. The consequence of a particular action, operation, or course of an outcome. It also means to end in a particular way, which is a favorable or concrete outcome or effect. So results can either be a product or a formula or an equation. It's kind of like 2 + 2 = 4, or you start at point A and you go through and you eventually reach point B. What I'm going to be speaking on today is life perspective. So there's 2 sides of action. One is the formula side, the other side is perspective, life perspective, and I'm going to be speaking on life perspective. Part 2 is from the equation side. So my definition of life perspective is, how do you view life? Some people view life as an oyster or a cornucopia, and that's where there's a lot of things you can grab, and you just grab in and take what you want. Life as an art, meaning you shape it, and it's like poetry. You make your life the way you want it. Life can be relationships. What kind of relationships do you have? How many relationships do you have? I was at a funeral yesterday. A good friend passed away, and there were a lot of people there. And I've noticed at a lot of funerals today, there's not a lot of people at funerals. And that kind of, they were saying, shaped his life, the amount of people that he knew. Some people say life is like being guided by a greater source, or it's a ladder or rat race. Who can get the most toys? So the results depend on your life perspective, which comes from attitude, which comes from your choices, how many choices you have, plus your decisions. You're going to make your decisions based on the choices that you have, and then you're going to take action depending on your judgment, and it all comes down to your results. So, depending on your life perspective, you're going to have a certain attitude. And your attitude lets you see a set of choices. And your decision leads to an action which produces the results. As you can see, it's like an equation here. So the result comes as a product of this equation. When you buy into other ideas that aren't your own, sometimes that can change your life perspective, or it can change your point of view. And what I mean by that is, we kind of live like kings and queens. We have plenty. Some of us complain about our car not running right, or we don't have a great job, or the water doesn't taste that good, and so forth and so on. But when you go to another country, you can see a lot of countries, people live in poverty, and they live in less than poverty homes, or they have multiple families living in a home, or that kind of thing. And they come here and they see us, and they see us as wealthy. And there are people here that live under bridges and that kind of thing, but everybody here has the same opportunity. One of the things about opportunity is, for me, I've given my children the perspective that they go to college, gives them credentials, they can get a good job. So one of my daughters believed me. She went out, got her 4-year degree, then she got her master's, and then she went to work for the Art Academy around the corner here, and became the director. They hired her as a director, and she worked there a couple years before she changed jobs. She's now working at CRC, and she's putting together a new department for them down there. Thank you. So her life perspective was, I don't know what's going to happen, but I trust Dad, so I'm going to do what he's proposing to do. So she went through the seasons. She started with her schooling and ended up getting her master's, going through all the 6 years of college, and her harvest now is her life job, which is probably she's going to end up being a teacher or an administrator. So some people say it's a process. I want to end this speech by giving a saying from J.R.R. Tolkien, who is the guy who wrote Lord of the Rings. He says, "Few can foresee whether their road will lead them till they come to the end." Next week I'm going to do part 2, which is the formulas of results. Thank you.